Hi New Zealand, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Philip Duncan. The new westerly change, it's arriving. It really peaks on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday over New Zealand, but it does arrive as early as this evening in some places and across Friday. Look at the animated wind map. You can see this surge of windy weather. It has just gone through the southeastern states of Australia and it comes to New Zealand by Friday, but the main energy really doesn't arrive until about Sunday over our shores. So let's have a look at Friday. You can see that Windier surge arriving. It's not going to be too stormy, but you'll notice the westerlies kicking in on Friday. It's wet along the west coast, especially the South Island's west coast, where over 200 millimetres is coming between now and the end of Sunday. And measure that against the east coast, which has 0.2 to maybe 5 millimetres coming. So the west coast is where the weather is, well, the rain is certainly, and that will fall as snow higher up. In fact, over a metre, maybe 1.5 metres of snow coming for the top of the Southern Alps. Now that will increase the avalanche risk over the Southern Alps over the next few days or weeks ahead. So a windier Friday with some rain around, but then as we head in towards the weekend, Saturday doesn't actually look too bad in the North Island. Settled weather, maybe the winds are picking up as the day goes on, and a couple of light showers, otherwise mostly dry, but the rain comes back to the South Island and everybody pretty much has those warmer nor'westers. Now on Sunday that South Island rain surges up into the North Island, so you get a period of rain in the morning, a couple of isolated falls, and also as we transition from that warmer nor'wester to the cooler west to southwest wind, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two as well. But then behind it, showery, windy, colder, and that's where we'll see more snow on the South Island mountains and maybe even around Mount Ruapehu. There could be 20 or 30 centimetres of snow falling there if you're lucky on the tops. I don't think there'll be as much coming down for the ski fields. Now into next week, speaking of the ski fields, not a lot of snow for the North Island because we're back to those nor'westers, but there might still be a little bit of snow shower activity around the South Island because things get a bit colder down there in the south as a result of a localised southerly for you. Elsewhere though, the showers are around. Actually, it's not quite as windy on Monday, but the winds pick back up again as we head towards Monday night, and you'll see why, because Tuesday is a messier day around the country. Not quite so windy over the South Island, but it's colder for you, and as these rain clouds move through and around, there might be some snow to low levels, maybe 300 or 400 metres for a time, but as you can see, a lot of that is dry. So, it's cold and it can make snow, but there's not a lot of snow coming based on this map. Most of the weather's around the North Island where it will be windier. And our final map is for Wednesday, and again, there's a risk of snow down here around Queenstown and maybe 300 or 400 metres around Southland and Otago as a result of that southerly, but it's a localised one because around Canterbury, mostly sunny and dry. Still probably double digits by day. And in the North Island, warm and windy for this time of the year. So frost-free across the country at what is typically the coldest time of the year. That is all from me. We'll update you again tomorrow as we get closer to the weekend.